Hey guys, Justin from the Couple of Mana Dorks here, and today I'm coming to you from the shop with another Flesh and Blood video. Pretty much going to be heavy Flesh and Blood today, not really any talks of Magic or Pokemon or anything of the sort, just Flesh and Blood. We got a lot to cover here as far as past weeks go, what's going on today, and what's coming in the future. So yeah, if you're not really here for Flesh and Blood, you might want to, go ahead and click off this video, but definitely stick around if you are interested. So, as far as the past 2 weeks go for Flesh and Blood, it's been a whirlwind of good news and awesome events. We had the Calling Las Vegas, over 1,000 people attending, which is astonishing for like one of the first callings in the U.S. A lot of the guys from in the near area did go, and they said it was awesome. A lot of great attitude and just great community like feeling, and that's the kind of thing that we want here in Flesh and Blood, good community vibes and that kind of feeling of welcome throughout the whole community. And it's awesome. It's awesome that we can have a game like this in a big community. And yeah, going on to our next topic, a week later we had Flesh and Blood's Tales of Aria pre-release. We did have one here at the store. We had completely maxed out on slots, so full 16 players. We had one golden ticket winner to go to the Calling Orlando, which we'll talk about that here shortly, and had a few playmats to give out as well as a few packs. But great event. Everybody loved it. Same deal. Everybody said that it was a very welcome kind of environment. Everybody felt welcome to the community, and everybody was in great moods. Nobody was really upset with bulls or anything else. It was good stuff. So that was 2 weeks ago. Last week on Friday, we had the official release for Tales of Aria, which went just as smooth. I mean, everything's been going great with this Tales of Aria set and Flesh and Blood over the past 3 weeks. Tales of Aria has sold well. Of course, by this point that the video will come out, the prices on this set have dropped pretty significantly. I think a lot of people are a little bit upset about that. But regardless, cold foils held their value, first edition stuff held their value. You just got to wait it out till the long game. Don't be too upset about it now because they do go back up eventually. But another thing that you should be happy about is that this game is growing with each set. Don't think about short term. You need to think about long term. You need to think about, what is this game bringing to not only your local game store and the community. It's bringing good people. It's bringing it's bringing good people in. It's bringing in a lot of good vibes and all this and that. And that's the kind of thing that you want from a video or a card game like this. So yeah, jumping into today's news, we got a lot of stuff to cover today. It is the last week of the month of September. So, as always, we have Armory events on Wednesdays, which is the day that I'm recording this on. And since it is the last day, we get to announce our People's Champion for Flesh and Blood, which we are hosting tonight. And we've already got one guy in mind, and then we already had one earlier in the month to receive the Lexi playmat, and I actually got it here, so I'm going to go ahead and preview it. It's super nice, and it even has a double arsenal spot down here at the bottom, which is awesome for Lexi's new double arsenal with the New Horizon. So we're excited to give that to him tonight, and on top of that, we also have our first place prize, which is also going to be another playmat, which I will preview later in the video. It comes from one of the local game stores in the area called Meeple's Madness, and we absolutely love the guys. When we went down a few weeks ago, we got to meet the owners, and super nice people. Would recommend you go check them out. But they gave us a playmat, and we're going to give that out to our first place winner. Of course, it is a great quality, it has stitched edge and everything. So I will preview that mat later in this video. But other than that, we have Armory event tonight, and I will probably feature at least one game in this video. And now let's jump into the future events. We got a lot to cover here, so I'm going to kind of just blow right through it really quickly. In early November, we will be able to go to the Calling Orlando. I, Ashton, and a few of the other guys from around the store just are planning to go, and I think we got like a pretty big room that we're all going to stay in. We're probably all going to ride down. I personally will vlog my whole experience there, riding down, talk about what I'm going to play, and pretty much all the fun stuff, you know. I think that this is going to be a very nice thing for us to experience, and I think that I want to share that with you, and I want to share that with the people here in the store, so I'm taking as many as I can, you know, that are willing to go, of course. But that will be November 5th, and I'm very excited. Everybody's very excited, and we can't wait. Other than that, we got an email from Legend Story Studios yesterday, I want to say it was, that we were selected to host a Season 3 of Skirmish event. So we will get to play Blitz here in the store. We've got quite a bit of room here, and we're super excited. A lot of our guys are super excited. Most of our guys don't play Blitz, but, you know, they are totally willing to not necessarily make the change, but to at least build a Blitz deck to attempt to try to win some great prizes here and even come down and play. I think that it's like I said earlier in the video, that a lot of the guys here are very welcoming, have a homey-like homey-like feel to them, and they want you to feel welcome into the store, into the game, and they want you to almost feel like you're a part of the family here. So it's always great to have like that kind of environment, and I think it's going to be a great event. So yeah. But other than that, we're going to just jump straight into the video. We've got a little bit of footage from our featured match. We've got a good bit more coming up. So yeah, just stick around. So we're about to get started on our Flesh and Blood Armory event tonight, but as promised, I was going to go ahead and give this a quick review. This is our playmat from Meeple's Madness. It is super, super nice. You got the Armory event right there, 2021, and it shows the store. That's super nice. Super thick mat, really nice plush edges, and as well as the stitch here on the edge. Super nice playmat. I think our guys are super excited for this, and as well as the People's Champion playmat. I will be giving that out here in just a second. So yeah, we're gonna get some footage on that.
We have rounds, but before we give rounds, we give out a playmat for a person who shows the most sportsmanship, who brings the most people to the game, who helps everybody out. And this month it was going to be Tyson, but the people he said was coming aren't coming. So.
Ooh.
Ouch.
So we'll go ahead and give him a playmat. But there will be one win, one counters off.
Appreciate it. Thank you. You play those sweet.
Oh yeah.
Pretty nice. Nice.
Ready for rounds? Oh wait, skirmish event.
Skirmish event. Okay, so we are absolutely honored to be asked to be a part of Season 3 Skirmish. We are looking at 1 p.m. on December the 5th. That is a Sunday. We did that strategically where we would not be open so that only Flesh and Blood, the event, would be occurring on that day. So it will be Blitz. It will be in the Blitz format, and by then, hopefully, we will have not 1 but 2 judges. Weston is going for his judge exam Friday, and Justin's is yet to be scheduled, but should be fully through the system by the time we do Blitz.
Heck yeah.
So, all right, everybody's ready?
I think you can say rounds, yeah.
Rounds!
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 Woo!
What about squares?
Alright guys, so in the left hand we have Weston with his Chain, and on the right side we will have Alec playing his Lexi build. From both players we're going to see a fairly awesome match, with Chain having the Rosetta Thorn, and on the right side Shiver for Lexi. A new hero from Tales of Aria, and then a hero that just recently got the Seeds of Agony band. Definitely going to be an interesting match to see how everything will go. We'll also have life totals in the top left and right hand corner for each hero, So yeah, so looks like we have our opening hands and we are about ready to go. So let's just see how, I believe Weston is on the play. Yeah, Weston is definitely on the play here. So let's just see how it goes. So starting off with a red Mauvrian Skies. If it hits, it makes 3 tokens, rune chant tokens, and it has to go again. Pitching the Invert Existence to make another rune chant token. Swinging in with a Vexing Malice, making a rune chant token. And swinging 2 arcane damage, and then I believe it is 3 on the ground. He's taken the 2 there from Arcane, and then blocking 3. Or blocking 4 technically. So there is the loss of 2 life, plus the 1 rune chant token. Does not hit, so he will not get the rune chant token. Swinging Rosetta Thorn with the go again. 2 with arcane damage, and then 2 on the ground as regular. Seeing a full block, which is a little bit overkill, so Weston does explain that it is 2 arcane damage and then 2 regular. Definitely thinking it through, it looks like. Yeah, just 1 regular block. He will still take the 2 arcane damage, bringing his life total down to 35 in total. And he will go ahead and end the turn. Drawing up and passing. Weston had to go grab a token, it looks like. Alex going to flip up the Chill to the Bone, making a Frostbite token, under Weston's control. Definitely starting to think this through, because Lexi is kind of a difficult hero to build in the start, and I do understand that. I think this was his very first time playing Lexi, and he did make it to the top 2, so he was not upset with how it turned out. But definitely a harder build to pilot if you are a semi-new player. So definitely understand where Alec is coming up from, but it does take a little bit for him to decide. Pitches a Chilling Ice Vein to play. Oh, he is activating Shiver, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, uses 1 resource there to activate Shiver. I believe he gives it Dominate That is a Chilling Ice Vein sitting in his arsenal now. If he decides to fuse it on attack, it does give them a token. Plays Winter's Bite right off the rip. He either has to pitch or discard, and he decides to pitch. It's very good. Doing a Weave Lightning, super interesting, and then swinging in with a Chilling Ice Vein, dominated. What will Weston do here? Will he block and block hard, or will he just take it? Definitely starting to think it through a little bit. Because he does have the Frostbite token, so it is going to slow him down next turn. So would it be more beneficial just to take it and then keep most of his hand? That way he can still play stuff. Because it is only the first one that gets that that additional costing resource. Or, I mean, he can always just pass the turn. But in most instances, Chain does not want to have to pay that additional one, but also he doesn't want to just not do anything on his turn. So it is very difficult. Oh, I do want to go ahead while we are waiting on blocks. Oh, there's the block. So you are looking at 2 from the Arcanite gloves and then 3 on that. So I believe he takes it all. No, he takes 4. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Back to what I was saying, though. I know you can't really see Weston's, the Chain player's armor. So you're talking, for the 2 middle pieces, you're talking Arcanite gloves. Grass to Arcanite is what I meant. And Carrion Husk, of course. That will come into play later in this match, but no big deal. All right, so Meet and Greet, getting rid of the Frostbite token. If it hits, make a Rune Chant token. Okay, so corrects his mistake. He will make the Shackle token, and then he is going to go in with a Meet and Greet. Takes it, goes down to 31. Gets the Rune Chant token. And he is just going to draw up and pass after that. Not a great turn for Chain, but that is a-okay. Pitch 3. Activate the Shiver, giving it Dominate. Playing Winter's Bite again. He will pitch the card instead of yes. Very hand control-y game right here. Playing a Chill to the Bone, so if it hits, he will make some Frostbite tokens. And that's a Pulse of Volthaven straight into a Cold Wave. This is quite a big turn here for the Lexi player. How will Chain respond? And I will go ahead and say this. I think that Alec, the Lexi player, has not fully realized, and I think that'll show later in the video, that his Bullseye Bracers, I believe is what it's called, has Arcane Barrier. I know he never realizes it, but Weston does tell him at the very end of the match. I will go ahead and say that it's super, super important that you know what your equipment and your armor and stuff does early in the game, and that you fully utilize them to their... You just need to make sure that you're doing everything to your extent to make sure that you can win the game. You have all the tools ready for you. It's just making sure that you can use them. Blocking 1, 2, 3. He does get 3 Frostbite tokens here, going down to 30. That is quite a little hit. Man. Yeah, that is quite a turn from the Lexi player. You're talking a dominated huge hit like that with making tons and tons of Frostbite tokens. making it super hard. Just coming in with an Arcanic Crackle, it looks like. Pops the Rune Chant token to do, I believe it's 3 arcane damage. And it looks like the Chain player did, yeah, there he goes. He did miss the Soul Shackle trigger. Lexi does take it, go down to 29. He does get rid of a Sleep Dart out of his hand, though. And Chain will pass the turn. Looks like a pretty even match so far. You're talking 29 and 30, and the Lexi player definitely playing some good pressure against Chain, and Chain still coming back with just enough damage to keep it in check. And another thing that you'll notice about this build of Chain is not only that instead of running the normal Chain weapon, I can't quite remember what it's called off the top of my head. Instead, they're running Rosetta Thorn, still being a very good one, only for 1, hitting 2, and then 2 arcane if you did a non-attack and attack this turn. There is a Sleep Dart from the Lexi player. I believe this one is dominated. If Sleep Dart does hit at all, Chain will lose his hero abilities. I know it's not too bad, but he will be able to not. He will not be able to make another Soul Shackle token for the turn. The Chain player definitely thinking about how to block this. And one of the things I didn't notice about this Chain build is that it's very unique, and it's not like the other Chain builds, especially after the Seeds ban. It's a little bit more, I guess you can say mid-rangey. Has several defense reactions into the deck, and the Chain player will just take the full blunt of that hit, bringing him down to 25. Lexi definitely getting the upper hand here. Yep, that's a Shackle trigger into I believe that's a Guardian. Yeah, that's a Guardian. But yeah, like I was saying, like this is a very unique build. We don't usually get to see builds that run Guardian and a few of the Sigils and such. And this is a very mid-rangey like build that Chain could definitely adapt into. All right, so you're talking a Unhallowed Rots right here. Chain still only has 1 Soul Shackle token. He is popping the boots. And he is giving it go again to return the Guardian to his hand, arsenaling it up. And drawing up. That will be the Chain player's turn. Goes back over to Lexi. Activating Shiver. Putting that arrow into his arsenal. Chill to the Bone. And do a Seek and Destroy. A dominated arrow with Seek and Destroy and a Chill to the Bone tied onto it. This could be bad for the Chain player yet again. It is not a fused, of course, but yep. Yeah. I don't fully believe that Weston understood that this was a dominated. Of course, it could have been just a +1. And it might have been a mistake on the Lexi player to just... I think it was a +1 attack, and the Lexi player did mistake, and he should have... he definitely should have made that a dominated attack instead of allowing the Chain player to play the Guardian. So that's okay. Sometimes that happens, and it definitely shows that you got to know how to play, when to play these cards. But that's okay. These kind of mistakes happen every now and then. Lexi will pitch Activating Shiver into a Sleep Dart. I'm going to assume that this is a dominated attack. Of course, it could very well just be a +1. Lexi definitely thinking it through after the previous turn. Playing the Amulet of Ice into a Sleep Dart. Blocking with the Husk. So I did get to talk to the chain player not long after this. One of his main things is whenever he blocks with the Husk, he intends the game to last no longer than 6 turns, or else you are not getting enough out of the deck or out of the Husk, or else it's just starting to ping you to death now. Playing a Plunder Run straight into a Shadow Puppetry. This could get nasty. Pitches, plays the Vexing Malice, 2 arcane damage, 3 on the ground. Oh, and plus a pump. That is my bad. So, will the Lexi player take it? I believe the Lexi player is still up on life also. Definitely starting to rethink his block. Okay. Block 4. Taking the damage. Going down to 20. Lexi player starting to get put back on the back foot here. Shadow Puppetry will trigger. Playing a Meet and Greet. If it hits, make a Rune Chant token. Lexi player definitely starting to see that he is being put back onto the back foot with all these attacks just pounding into his face. Being able to keep a pretty good sized hand is what is important to Lexi, and she will take it. Going down to 16, swinging with a Rosetta Thorn, 2 and then 3 arcane damage, so 5 in total damage. I believe he will take all 3 arcane damage here. Yeah. Taking the full hit, going down to 11. That is Lexi being put straight onto the back foot here. Activating the Lexi trigger, or the Lexi activated ability, making a Frostbite token and chain, taking the Blood Depth. Activating Shiver, putting the arrow into his arsenal, giving it Dominate, I believe. Swinging in with the arrow, fusing it. Will he pop the amulet here? Yeah, he is definitely signaling that he had forgot the chill to the bone there, that he definitely could have made that quite a big hit. But will he pop the amulet here to get a card out of hand? He is popping the amulet. What card will Chain get rid of here? Definitely a tough decision, it looks like. Yeah, only one card in the banish zone other than the definitely I fixed it throughout the video editing, but I believe the chain player definitely just asked the opponent how long has his husk been into the zone, and it's really only been one turn. I know it's been like several minutes since the last one, but fixing it, he does go down to 24 in total, so that is just a recap on the screen how much life he is at. He is at 24 versus Lexi's 11. And he discards the Vexing Malice and then takes the full blunt of that arrow, going down to 19. Both heroes starting to get a little weak here, but still anybody's game for the most part. Banishing I believe that's a Sink Below from Chain. That's a super interesting include for this deck. Let's just see. Yeah. Lexi player definitely showing that he has forgotten in his arsenal that Chill to the Bone several times. Definitely would make the big turnaround for him. He definitely has. The chain player definitely has a lot to think about here, having 2 Frostbite tokens in very low life. Lexi definitely being a very control-y hero here, but also still doing good amounts of damage. That's not too terrible. Definitely giving Chain the run for its money, and definitely putting the chain player into a position to where he's not comfortable with just straight up attacking all the time. But back to like what I was saying, once you've popped that husk, you've really got to be aggressive for the rest of the game to truly try to close it out in the next 6 turns. Playing a Sting of Sorcery into an Arcanic Crackle. I believe that is 3 arcane damage and then 3 or 2 on the ground. I can't really tell. Definitely a lot to think about here, Lexi. Lexi takes it, goes down to 6. And then and another attack coming straight out of her face. Oh, makes a Soul Shackle token to give it go again, and not only that, another attack is coming after this one too. Yeah, the Lexi player is definitely not looking so good here. We know that she'll at least take 1 arcane damage here. Alexi definitely thinking. Double blocking on this one. No damage will go through except for the arcane. Alright, goes to bottom. Chain will take blood depth damage, going down to 18. Definitely still not looking good for Lexi, and Chain being on the upper hand. Flipping up the Ice card, giving him a Frostbite token, and playing Channel Lake Frigid. This might be the turnaround that Lexi needs here. Drawing up and passing. Definitely seems uneventful, but definitely will slow down Chain significantly, seeing that his first one will cost 2, but every one after that is going to cost 1 additional. This could get hairy for Chain. Can he pull it out? Making another Soul Shackle token. I don't believe he activated his Soul Shackle ability or triggered ability at the start of this turn. Yeah. Going in for a Singeing Steel Blade. Takes 2 arcane damage. Or is it 1? I believe it's 1 arcane damage on this one. I can't quite get all the chain ones right in my head. I think they all do very similar things. Blocking it all. But taking the 1 arcane, going down to 5. Chain popping the hat. Or the headpiece to get a sorcery. And a Vexing Malice back. Putting them on top of his deck. Putting those cards on bottom at the end of his turn and drawing up. Pitching a Channel Lake Frigid to try to appease the Channel Lake Frigid ability at the end of turn. Chain does definitely forget to go down due to blood depth on the last turn, bringing him down to 15. Putting an arrow into the arsenal. Actually swinging in with the Chill to the Bone on a Cold Wave this time. I believe this is a dominated attack also. With an attempt to try to slow Chain down. Blocking with the Sigil of Suffering, doing 1 arcane damage, punishing Lexi harshly. No damage goes through, but instead a punishment. Great turn for Chain. Definitely starting to feel good. Oh, and here is the Soul Shackle. Do not believe anything there has... Yep, nothing there can be cast. One of the things I do like about this Chain player is that he does put all of his cards that he can cast from Banish as the other weapon slot. I know that you normally can't, but it does show both the opponent and you at an easy glance that it is there. Definitely don't think that you can always do that, but it is definitely very nice as a reminder for both you and your opponent. Cracking the Tome, drawing a card. I believe that's another defense reaction there. Yeah. With Lexi being so low at life, I believe that she has not quite realized that her bracers do in fact have the prevent arcane damage. Yeah, making a Rune Chant token from the Grasp. The sorcery yet again for another nasty turn. Swinging in with a Unhallowed Rot, taking 1, I believe it's 1 arcane damage here. No, 2 arcane damage from the Stinging Sorcery. Double blocking this, taking the 2, going down to 2. Lexi is definitely in a bit of a pickle here. And then Chain will go down to 14 after his blood depth. Can Lexi hold her ground and pull out the win? If that is what I think it is in the Chain player's hand, I do believe Chain has it this turn. Yeah, swinging in with a Cold Blade dominated. Chain will pitch, block with a Guardian, and respond with a inverted existence, banishing 2 cards from the graveyard, doing 2 damage to the opponent, and there is a handshake for the good game. And the end cap of totals. Chain at 14, Lexi at 0. Chain takes it. Great game, guys. Can't wait to have you guys back. So I want to take a minute and talk about what happened after that crazy feature match between Alec and Weston. So Alec was playing Lexi, a brand new hero from Tales of Aria, which looks super cool, and she proved her worth. I mean, she didn't quite win it, but still being able to make those Frostbite tokens, doing really cool interactions is super cool. Excuse me. But also, Weston's chain has proven to be very strong. I mean, even after the Seeds of Agony ban, which we all thought was going to be pretty detrimental to chain survivability, but Weston have stepped in and proven them wrong. I mean, straight up slaughtered everybody he went against, and I mean, different build for chain also, but still, everybody was like, wow, this is a great build, and I think he's going to take it to the calling with us, and honestly, it's great. But after that match, I pretty much called everybody up to the front, and I explained to them, you know, first place winner is going to get this playmat here. And I looked toward Weston, and I said, here's your playmat, man. And he says, you know what? I've got several of these playmats already. I want to give this to the new player, Brian. And he goes, you know, I've already got several of these playmats already. I want this to go to somebody that will appreciate it as much as, you know, appreciate it more than what I will. So Brian kind of looked at him and he said, are you sure, man? And he's like, yeah, I've already got several of these playmats. Not this specific one, but you're looking for a playmat. You're new to this and you're doing super well. So here you go. And Brian was very thankful. And Weston, you know, thank you, Weston. You know, we couldn't make a good, welcoming environment in the community without you. We couldn't do it without like everybody else. People like Tyson, people like you, people like Alec, and a few of the other guys. You know, you guys are awesome, and we really could not make a community like this without people like you. So I want to go ahead and give you guys a quick thank you, like for real. We couldn't do it without you. But jumping into what you can expect in the future for the Flesh and Blood content that we have here, I will be going down to the Calling Orlando. I'll probably be getting in a ton of footage with my vlogs. So you're talking playtest, what decks I'm bringing, how I'm planning for this event, and probably a few Armory events as well as a few other things. But what you can really expect here in the near future is, if I can find it, this whole thing right here, Flesh and Blood Tales of Aria First Edition box opening. I know you guys like box openings, so we'll probably jump into this pretty soon. But if you guys dig that and dig it a lot, we will definitely be jumping into a 2-box opening and possibly up to a case. You guys love those legendaries and cold foils, and we do too. So we'll definitely see where that goes from there. And but yeah, definitely expect some Magic content, some Pokemon content, and a few other things here in the near future. But for now, I'm gonna hop off here. If you liked what you saw today, definitely don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell for notifications, and leave us a like. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.